Hello, this is to help with an OP900. Doesn't matter if it's A or B or MSSS, where your battery light is flashing, doesn't accept a charge, or it just keeps shutting off when you're trying to use it, even when it's plugged in to the DC power. I'm assuming that your keypad still works, it still turns on, but to check if it's a battery that's having an issue or the board itself, you're gonna turn it over. And I've already started removing the screws. You're gonna take your flathead screwdriver and plus-head screwdriver and remove the screws. All right, so you have your indicator. So now place it down, move the cover. I have a battery in mine, that's why you see a bump. If you don't have a battery, then it'll just be flat. But put it on the side. And you'll notice on this corner, there's 4 screws, 4 connectors. You're gonna see a red cable and a black cable go into your battery. So what we're going to do now is actually remove the 2 cables that go to the board from the battery, so we can remove the battery as a possible problem. So you're going to take a mini flathead screwdriver, and you see the cable for the battery is here. You'll slowly loosen this, slowly loosen the other one. And be careful not to connect the 2 ends of the battery, because that will spark. So you're going to remove one end, move the other end. Make sure, very important, not to touch the 2 cables, so keep them separated. Okay, so they're very separated. Now you can see the board. Now I only have the 2 cables that go to the DC power. I moved my battery back to the side. I have my board here. I still have only these 2 cables connected to DC power. You have your indicator. Take your power cord that was given to you. Plug in the power cord. You'll see the battery light turn on. If it doesn't turn on, not too big a deal. I'll show you how to work with that. But you turn it on and see if it works. Okay. For me, it seems fine. For me, the battery light stays on and it has not shut off at all. So that rules out that it's possibly the battery that's wrong and that could be causing this issue. If it still shuts off, then the green board itself has to be replaced. If you're not able to turn it on, I can show you what to do next. Okay, if you're here and you see these 2 cables on the left, the red and black, and the indicator doesn't turn on, you could try something else where, if possible, there's a reading down here. Very small print will say DC negative all the way left, then to the right of it DC positive, the right of it is battery positive, and the right of it is battery negative. So you could actually switch the DC positive or battery positive from slot 2 to 3 and DC negative to battery negative from slot 1 to 4. So you could actually loosen up both of these. Take the DC positive, put into the battery positive, which is slot 3. And then the DC negative to battery negative. And now when I plug it in, the light does not turn on, but the indicator does turn on. This also just to show if the power cable is able to charge the battery, because I now plugged in the DC power into what the board thinks is a battery. But either way, hopefully it turns on and stays on. If not, then the board needs to be replaced.